Welcome back to the Social Innovation Summit. We had a great group yesterday at Microsoft just around the corner, and we'll have an even bigger group today here at the Computer History Museum. A few people are late because of weather, which oddly enough, if there are 5 raindrops in California, everybody grinds to a halt. Like they think their car is going to go careening off the side of the road if they drive over 15 miles per hour. But anyway, we'll overcome that. So for those of you whom I have not yet met, I'm Professor Rob Wolcott from the Kellogg School of Management, founder of the Kellogg Innovation Network, or KIN. I see a few of our Kinians out there, here and there. Hi, Matt. Good to see you. And we're privileged and pleased to be working with Zeev Klein, Landmark Ventures, and everybody here at the Social Innovation Summit. I've had the privilege to attend the last couple years and enjoyed every minute. So thank you, Zeev, from everybody. Another logistical note, yesterday, those of you who were with us at Microsoft know that it was a little bit more informal. Time schedules moved a little bit because we had some great content. We can't do that today for a few reasons, not the least of which is we have a live stream going on, live feed. So for all the speakers, and they're all phenomenal, that's why they're here, do not be offended, do not be upset. In fact, we don't really care if you're offended or upset. If you run over, you'll be yanked off the stage. So just keep that in mind, and it's with all respect and love that we do that. Before I turn the floor over to my colleague Rob Shelton, whom I'll mention in a moment, I wanted to make a quick observation. As I was listening to so many of the speakers yesterday, almost all of them, if you could hear, you could feel a story behind what they were doing. And it had something to do with a moment in their life or a process in their life that helped them find a mission, that help them find a sense of purpose and focus. You don't put this kind of passion and effort and risk on the table if you don't have that sense of purpose. And it reminded me of Karl Marx. Now, I'll tell you from what I know about Karl, he didn't like capitalists that much. And I think most of us at least have some vague appreciation of the market mechanism. But one of the things that Karl Marx said that has always stuck with me is that late capitalist society is defined by vanity. Vanity is one of the factors that we will see writ large in late capitalist society, and I think we don't have to look very far to see that Marx was right about that. I tell you, I spent way too much time planning this wardrobe. Thank you very much for laughing. So I think he's right. We have more time to devote, and unfortunately or fortunately, we devote it to ourselves. We become self-absorbed. We're not so worried about finding food on the savannah anymore. We have Slack and free time and all that. But I think Marx was a little bit of a pessimist. And so there's another side to that coin of vanity, and that's sense of purpose, that sense of mission, that sense of saying it's very much being self-absorbed. To go and find a big mission and purpose and go tell the world, this is what I want to do, this is how we need to do it, and will you help me? That takes a lot of self-absorption to identify a major objective and go out and try and make it happen. But that's channeling what Marx saw as a negative, the notion of vanity, and turning it into something magic and something that underlines all the things that people do that are here in this room. So anyway, an observation for the morning. And with that, I'd like to turn the floor over to Rob Shelton. Rob and I met actually 5 years ago or so. His book, Making Innovation Happen, Making Innovation Work, had just come out. It's a very practical, insightful book. I've read it and referred to it a number of times, so I encourage you to go find it. And since then, Rob has become the lead of innovation for PwC on the client side. So if you're seeking to enhance your innovation capability, he's your guy at PwC. With that, Rob Shelton.
Good morning, and thank you very much. This is a great summit, and I want to get us moving forward quickly. We've got some great insights from some very experienced speakers. Practitioners that will be able to give you a lot more insight than I will. But I want to set the stage quickly with a few brief remarks about innovation in particular. Social innovation specifically, but about innovation that has to do with what makes social innovation successful. Prototyping, partnering, and defining success are three themes that I want to touch on very briefly. At PwC, we deal with innovation in three areas. One, we innovate on ourselves. We actually have an active program where we try leading edge techniques in terms of accelerators and incubators and tournaments for innovation in order to improve the value we deliver to our clients and to our employees. And we've learned a lot from working with ourselves. Two, we work with leading companies, governments, and organizations around the world. We've done 1,250 transformations on the innovation space for different organizations and have learned an amazing amount and have benchmarks and best practices. And in particular, we know about what it takes to do breakthrough innovation, which is the theme that I want to come back to, because it is at the heart of this particular conference. We're not talking about just small incremental changes. We're talking about the things that are going to change the world in some important way. The third area we work in is in creating social value. It is an important part of our institutional investments and interests to do that. We are very oriented towards that. We have worked to create a program to teach elementary to high school kids certain financial basics that they need to run their life. Amazingly, that has been missing from curricula for a long time. The Earn Your Future program is not only a $60 million investment, we've put in over 1 million hours, or will put in over 1 million hours of our own time to make this happen. So we have learned how to innovate by doing it ourselves, by working with the best, and by sponsoring the best programs that we could find around. We share the learning. But I want to get now to the point that I mentioned. A key aspect of all of that learning, something we know ourselves and we've seen all of the organizations we work with, is that incremental innovation, the small changes that are made, are not the same as breakthrough innovation. Breakthrough innovations, the next new thing, require a different approach. As we like to say, how you innovate determines what you innovate. If your process is set up for incremental, you will get incremental innovations. You can't get the breakthrough out of that. I'd like to now mention those three aspects very quickly, because you're going to hear these crop up in the panel discussions and in the presentations that come up. The first is, to be innovative, to do breakthrough innovation, you have to experiment. Yes, you need a bold vision and a clear idea, but it's not enough. The lesson is that you need to do rapid prototyping. You need to avoid paralysis via analysis, or the hubris of assuming you've got it right, because probably you don't. In Silicon Valley, we have a saying, which is, your first business model is wrong, or at least half wrong. And you need to go find out which parts are wrong, get rid of the parts that aren't, pivot, and then go create value to fill in the new parts, to create something better with each iteration. And you do that at extremely high clock speed. I'll just mention one number, and it should maybe stick with you. The Dyson vacuum cleaner, which was such a powerful idea, it now holds 60% market share, great idea all the way around. Dyson did 5,721 prototypes in 4 years. Now that's a benchmark for prototyping that I think is remarkable. I'm not asking anyone to stand up and compare themselves to that particular one, but it should stick in your mind nonetheless. The second, and you'll hear some of this come up with regards to points of light in the incubator discussion that will be coming up in just a moment. The second theme about innovation, one of the key lessons, is that partnering, collaboration, is at the very fabric of innovation. Basically, if you want social innovation to succeed, you need a highly collaborative network, an ecosystem of people that can contribute, work with you. We like to say that there are 1 billion IQ points outside of your own organization, no matter how large it is, and you need to tap into those and find a way to make things happen. And the particular goal is not just to be well connected. Anyone can do that. It's to become the partner of choice in your ecosystem, the one that people bring the best ideas to, the organization that they want to partner with to go to market. Becoming partner of choice is probably one of the most important goals to achieve if you want to be a great innovator, social or otherwise. We've done that at Knowledge at Wharton High School, where we've actually been able to work with their extensive knowledge about teaching financial aspects to around the globe in our Earn Your Future approach. And I'd like to close with a point about innovation that is particularly important. I referred to it before as defining success. The real thing is I'd like to dispel the idea that to be successful at innovation, you have to fail. This is a myth that's been perpetrated. First, failure is a pejorative term. At the root, it means to disappoint. And I think that suggesting that you can be successful by continually disappointing people is probably a fallacy. It's certainly the wrong mental model. Some people talk about failing forward or failing fast, or one person referred to as noble failure. Again, I think all of these are trying to sweeten what's a rather bitter thought. That's not the mental model that people use that are successful. What they do is more like what Enrico Fermi told us. Take a hypothesis, your bold vision, and test it, prototype it. If the results match your hypothesis, you have data. If when you test your hypothesis, the results don't match the hypothesis, you have a discovery. So at the heart of great innovation are partners that are working together in an ecosystem, doing rapid prototyping to test things, and that they embrace the duality of data and discovery. That's what we'll be talking about. That's the kind of message that you'll hear embedded, and I look forward to the discussions.